Everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I am in Pocatello today for the what is this tournament here? I think this is the Storm Grand Finals. Yeah, down in Pocatello. So I'm in Pocatello this weekend for that tournament. There's several different divisions. Because my average last year ended below the 200 mark, I'm going to be in the 199 and under division. There's also an open division, there's a ladies division and a senior division. So there's also a doubles event and a Swiss trios event. I'm bowling doubles with a friend of mine, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm going to be in the 199 and under. The entry fees are relatively cheap, so you know, there's multiple opportunities to try and make the cut. It's just a matter of having the right ball in your hand, making good shots. So when I practiced on this pattern at Town & Country before leaving, you know, my urethane was working really well for me. It was shaping nicely. I was able to, you know, play right and play left with it, and the pattern seemed to have a lot of flexibility. So we're going to stick with that as we go forward, and we'll hopefully we'll make this work. Wish me luck. Oh boy, that was a struggle. You know, the pattern's playing so much different than I expected it to. You know, in warm-ups, the urethane gave me what I thought was a pretty good look, and I tried to make it work the whole series. I ended up with a 511, you know, and that's just not going to cut it for the 199 and under division. Right now, the cut's sitting right around the 530, 540 range. So, you know, the number's pretty low. Heck, even in the open division, it's really not that high. There's only been a few people that have actually shot a 600. And to be honest, this tournament shot that we're on is really not that difficult. It's, you know, the ratio is 3-to-1. It's got some miss room to the right. It really is kind of like a modified house shot. It's 39 feet, decent volume, you know, but it's just not playing that way. And honestly, I think what's going on here is the heads in this bowling alley are a little old, a little worn out. And so the problem is getting the ball to go through the front part of the lane. If you can get it through the front part of the lane, you know, it seems to react pretty okay. But then at that point, it becomes whether or not you're going to carry a strike. And, you know, the urethane, I could get it sometimes through the front part of the lane, but then it wouldn't slow down enough to turn the corner and wouldn't get a strike. So we're going to try it again. I've got doubles coming up next with Ricky Macbeth. But after that, I'm going to give it another shot at the 5 p.m. squad. And we will see how we can do then. Wish me luck. Oh boy. So doubles did not go well. Both Ricky and I really could not get anything working. You know, the biggest difference between the squad that I bowled this morning and doubles now is there was a lot more bowlers in the playing field, and the shot really just kind of went to hell fast. You know, it's only a 3-game qualifier, so you wouldn't think it would change that much, but I mean, the field was humongous for the doubles. And you know, we both started out pretty well, but we didn't finish strong. So we don't feel good about our doubles placement. I don't think we're in the money for doubles, so I'm going to kind of look forward to the 5 p.m. squad. I'm probably going to do some experimentation because the urethane just wasn't cutting it as far as I could tell. I need to try and get into my reactive balls and see what I can make work there. We need something that gets through the fronts clean but has enough of an engine and a cover on it to turn the corner, or slow down and turn the corner after that. So anyway, guys, I'll see you in a little bit. Wish me luck. Well, that was terrible. I tried to start with urethane, and my strategy was I'm going to play far right outside and see what I can make happen. Didn't work. You know, the urethane was so iffy, and it basically comes down to if you lay the ball down early, no matter what you're throwing, it hooks so much in the heads that the ball goes through the face. And then if you get it right to try and get it to the pocket, it just doesn't come back. So, you know, I think the key to success here is going to be adding a little bit of loft. You know, at the end there in game 3, I switched to my Joker Wild that I had put a little bit of surface on prior to starting. And once I started lofting a little bit, you know, not quite to the arrows, but just before the arrows, trying to get past most of the heads, it actually worked pretty well, and it started shaping pretty well there at the end. I mean, it was way too late to do anything about my score. I ended up shooting, what was it, like a 470 series, so pretty darn low, pretty bad. I need to get better at my spare shooting. I'm just not doing well with spares right now. So, yeah. Anyway, I've got another squad coming up here pretty soon at 7. We're going to give it another shot and try and come up with a game plan. So, anyway, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Well, that was terrible. I didn't bowl well at all. You know, I decided to shelve the urethane balls because they were just being so inconsistent. They were not working the way I wanted them to. And I had a plan to basically use one of my stronger symmetric solid balls and try and get it further out on the lane, add some air to it. But the problem is that ball was just retaining too much energy. It wasn't, you know, burning up enough energy, and it turned the corner so hard that it got me in trouble fast. By the time I finally decided, okay, I'm going to get out of that ball and I'm going to go to my Joker Wild, it was already too late. I was I was halfway into game 2. It started working. You know, I finished strong in game 2. I had an okay game 3, but not enough to overcome bad bowling. You know, I ended up with a 420, 430 series, my lowest score yet. So the good news is there's a couple more squads tomorrow at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. I think I'm going to come and try one more time for the 8 a.m. squad. You know, like I said, the entry fees are pretty cheap, so might as well at this point give it a shot. I need to get my money back at some point. And I think I've got a pretty good game plan. My Joker Wild's been giving me the best look so far. I need to figure out what ball to use on the fresh, because the Wild, even with surface, is just too much. It's too quick off the spot to really control the back end. So I need to figure out the ball to use in the fresh situation, and I think what I'm going to do is try one of my big engine, big core asymmetric balls with a lot of surface. You know, I need to try and blend it out a little bit. So we're going to give that a shot, and we'll see what we can make happen. I'll see you guys in the morning. Okay guys, well, quick update here. No recording from this morning's squad. You know, my wife stayed at the hotel, so my video recorder wasn't available. It was a pretty early morning for me. I had to get down here quick and get everything ready to go, but it went really well. You know, I started out the gate with a 171. I made a few errors that I shouldn't have. I missed some spares that I shouldn't have. And then I shot 205. You know, the ball I was trying to use in game one as my fresh oil ball just wasn't working. I need to come up with a different plan there. You know, I tried one asymmetric ball, or one symmetric solid ball that, you know, was fairly strong and I figured would work, because I kind of match up better with symmetrical equipment than I do asymmetric, and it just was too quick off the spot. I could not control it. So I finally put that away after game one, went to my Joker Wild in game two. I moved left, playing more of an inside line, started lofting it almost to the arrows, and that's where it really kind of came alive for me. 205 in game two. Unfortunately, game three, I went back down again. I shot 172, but that's enough. That's enough to get me in. I shot a 546 series. So I'm at 8th place right now. They're taking the top 10 bowlers out of the 199 and under division. So we're going to let that score ride, cross our fingers, and just pray that no more than 1 or 2 bowlers make it in to push me out. So I'll see you guys in a bit with an update. All right, guys, we're in. we got moved down one. You know, one of the other division bowlers shot a pretty good 612 series, so she moved up to the 3rd spot, pushed me down 1 spot, but I'm in. So now they're re-oiling the lanes. I'm excited. First time I've made the cut at this tournament. Yeah, I'm in the 199 and under division, but I'm happy with the way I bowled. I think I've got a good solid plan going forward. It's going to be my big bro jacked with surface for the fresh. You know, something that's big, strong, you know, wants to slow down and help me blend out that pattern. I'm going to need to make sure I get it out on the lane a little bit more instead of laying it down early. So yeah, we're going to start with that, see how it goes, and see how far we can make it. We'll see you guys after a while. Oh, well guys, I did not make the cut to 32. You know, it just, I wasn't throwing the ball bad, honestly. At least I didn't feel like I was. I stuck with the game plan that got me into the cut to 64, and it just wasn't working. You know, I threw good shots, at least I thought I did. Honestly, I think what it came down to is I hit really bad pairs in the first 2 games. I couldn't get the ball. I was using my Joker Wild, the ball that I've been using this entire time to get it through the front part of the lane. I was lofting, you know, standing left, throwing right. That's what worked to get me in to the cut to 64. I figured I might as well stick with that in order to get to the cut to 32 and try and eke out a higher series. Yeah, and it just did not work at all. You know, I punched out a 134, I think it was, in game 1. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I just need to throw it better. So I tried to make a few adjustments and then shot 136 in game 2. You know, I was essentially fighting bad pairs. The first pair that we were on, I guess it wasn't terrible, you know, but it seemed like you had to get the ball further right than you had to the entire time. And after talking to a few of the other players, it turns out it was the worst pair in the building to actually end up on to start with. So that was bad just to begin with. And then we moved to, I think it was lanes 3 and 4 in game 2. And it seemed like that particular pair had been bowled on like 20 games or so without a re-oil. It was that bad. I mean, the middle part of the lane hooked, the front part of the lane hooked, and everybody on that pair struggled to get the ball in the right spot. So that's where I shot the 136. And then if you guys have been watching any of my other videos, you remember back a while ago I created a video called The Ball You Never Use. my holic. You know, in game 3, I was like, you know, I need to try something drastically different. I know urethane doesn't work. I know my Big Bro Jacked wasn't working. I know that my Joker Wild wasn't working. So what other options do I have with me? And I decided to go with something that was completely separate or opposite of anything else that I had thrown before. So I grabbed my Holic out of my bag. You know, I've got it polished up. And I stood way to the right. I threw it up like, what was it, 7-8 board? Basically up the lane the entire time. And it gave me an okay look. But, you know, the problem with that ball is it's deemed as a dry oil ball. So that ball doesn't flare much at all, which means it doesn't want to slow down. It's going to get extremely far down the lane, and when it encounters any friction, it's going to just pop really hard. So yeah, I was basically dealing with a reaction that was inconsistent, but I was able to make it work to eke out a 182 or 181, I think, in game 3. But at that point, you know, you can't overcome 2 back-to-back 130 games. No way, no how, unless you shoot like 300 or something, and that wasn't going to happen. So, you know, I'm kind of happy with how that last game went. I'm frustrated that I didn't recognize early on or soon enough that what I was doing just wasn't working at all. So that's something I need to work on, you know, getting better at recognizing when your reaction just is not the proper reaction. Yeah, I'm happy that I made the first cut. I made a little bit of my money back, which I'm happy about as well. I didn't come quite close to even making my money back overall because, you know, I had to drive 6 hours to get to Pocatello and spend money for a hotel room, spend money for food, spend money for gas. So, but I made the cut. I got some money back, so I'm happy with that. You know, for the next several weeks over the holidays, there's not much going on. There is another tournament coming up in Pocatello. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go or not. Still kind of thinking about that. I don't have League this coming week because of Thanksgiving, so there will not be any video this Wednesday for League. So look for another video next week for the League update. And then from there on out, it's just going to be practicing, getting better at things I need to get better at, waiting for the next tournament to come up. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.